Well, hey everybody. So back at it again, and I'm on the iPad today using the Sketchbook Pro app. I've got my Apple Pencil, and at this point, I'm just kind of doing some fun geometrical shapes, kind of Tetris-y sort of stuff. And at this point, I'm really just kind of filling the screen, um, and trying to keep the shapes for the most part uh, kind of balanced throughout the piece. In other words, nothing really big on one side. You know, I've got some small stuff scattered around, some circles scattered around, small rectangles. You know, some odd shapes, and looking at the whole thing, yeah, it's kind of balanced. And so now I'm going to come in and embellish a couple things, or fix some things that I didn't really like, break some things up, adding some circles inside, taking some of the larger shapes and splitting them, joining some of them with rings and some fun shapes. Um, I'll even go back now and like look at some of the shapes and go, I really didn't like that. And for instance, like right here, so I'm erasing some of the shape. Didn't really care for what was going on there. And then again, coming back and joining some and splitting some. And as I move on, I'll kind of outline some of the shapes further, work on some of them. And now I came in with the paint bucket, threw some color in here, and at this point, it's just it's just like a placeholder. I'm just throwing in some color, and later on, I'll come back and fine tweak those. But it was just to give kind of a balance and an overall feel for it. I upped the pen size of the Apple Pencil here, and I'm outlining some of the shapes, and again, balance is the key here. So sometimes I'm rounding edges of things, sometimes I'm keeping them rectangular, sometimes I'll break them up, sometimes I'll make them circular as I go. It's all just kind of a whimsical sort of thing with feel, and how I kind of react to the way that things are going. So that's the way that things are working here. And again, just kind of outlining everything and getting the shapes fine tuned. Um, as I make my way throughout things, some things may speak to me and tell me, hey, you need to change this, or it's kind of an intuitive, reactionary sort of thing. And I've done quite a few of these in with actual paint and acrylics on large canvas, and I find them to be really, really satisfying. Obviously, on the iPad, it's a lot quicker. You can change the color easily after the fact. Um, this is kind of a time lapse. Actually, it is a time lapse recording, so it's not this quick, but it still isn't. It isn't as slow as say painting, and it's a lot easier to change stuff on the fly. And if it's not working out, you can just kind of dump the whole thing and start over, and you really haven't lost much. So, uh, in terms of scratching a creative itch, this does pretty good. So I'm probably coming up to the end of the trimming of things here. Definitely am. And now I think what I'll do is I come back in and I adjust some of the colors, select the colors with the paint bucket. Went with a lighter, more pastel thing, and now I'm coming back in with the black and doing just some embellishment stuff. Some mid-century sort of feeling things, connecting, throwing in some black circles, basically adding some sort of interest, breaking up some spaces that were say large, make them into smaller spaces, cutting them in half, basically giving the overall piece a more balanced sort of appearance where you have lots of smaller shapes and and nothing really huge jumping out at you. And I think at this point I was pretty much done. So thanks for watching. Oh, still going. Now I think it's done. All right. Well, well, thanks for watching. I think you should try it yourself sometime.